Hi, welcome back to Science Rocks. We're here at the PTEC Clearwater campus, and there's a lot of great things going on, but today what we're going to focus on is STEM. And it's easy to find STEM here at PTEC Clearwater campus. They have dozens of programs in the technology and electronic fields that directly correspond to STEM careers.
You know, if you stop to think about it, there isn't a single thing that we go through every day that hasn't gone through some kind of machining operations. What I teach the students here is to make parts out of metal, either for machines or to manufacture a part.
What can students get from entering your program and graduating from your program?
Well, right now we got a placement rate of 95%. So out in Pinellas County, there's over 400 machine shops in Pinellas County. So if they graduate and they have skills, I have no problem finding them a job. We have 5 different classrooms. We start with the sit-down classroom where they do their reading, they learn math, basic blueprints, and then they go on a little bit later on and go expanded on blueprints on geometric dimension and control. The milling machines out here are designed to machine parts that are flat, square, and parallel. So they work from a print like this. And here the print tells them pretty much everything that they're going to need to know in order to manufacture the part. Now this is one of the final projects. So in the beginning, the projects are a lot smaller. There's a lot less information on it. But if you looked at each operation on just to machine that little step there, there's enough information here in order to manufacture that. And that's what they're learning here.
You have a lot of students that are self-directed right now. Explain the process instead of a typical classroom for these students.
All right. When we usually start with 13 students. And through this system, at the end of 2 weeks, they're working on like 8 different things. We use competency-based vocational education. It's a packet system. The packet system works like this. In the packet here, this tells them what they're going to learn and what's required. The first packet, or the first page, tells them to read a different section in the book. Then there's going to be some kind of a written test, and the written test is in the packet. And it's either multiple choice or fill in the blanks. Then the student comes to the next page is their performance, and this is when they come and see me. So I don't have to tell them what to do. They do what is in the packet, and then when they're up to the practical application, that's when they come out and talk to one of the instructors here. When you go to work someplace, they pretty much give you everything that you need to do. When you finish a job, you don't hang around and wait for someone else to give you another job. You go from one job to one job to one job, and that's what it is here. As they finish one packet, then they'll go on to the next packet and go on to the next packet. So here, instead of me teaching 5 one-hour classes a day, I probably teach 40 mini classes a day. It may be 5 minutes here or 10 minutes here. It all depends on what the student is doing.
One of those students is Gennaro Baldos. Why did you decide to become involved in this machining program?
Well, after a lot of years of going to school, I decided to get onto a more hands-on field and finally put my imagination to work and actually start creating things that I've thought of making all my life.
What are some of the skills that you need to enter this program and sustain a good working relationship?
Definitely motivation, determination. You gotta want it. It's math involved. I thought I was gonna avoid math, but there's no getting away from math. It's everywhere. So that's definitely some of the skills you're gonna need to hone up and brush up on.
In this environment, learning math is a little bit different than a typical classroom. Explain that difference for you as a student.
Absolutely, it's a huge difference. I think one of the best differences in the math here is that you can actually see it come to life in front of you. Where a lot of times in other math that you're practicing in school, you just kind of see numbers on a page. But I literally see all the math that I've put into this, like all the angles and all the fine measurements.
Our next stop is the IMM lab. Richard Almond is the Industrial Machinery Maintenance Technology Instructor.
When the students finish, their principal job is to repair machines that are controlled by computers. In other words, automation. Anything that has to do with a computer-controlled machine, that could be the rides at Disney World or Universal or the Tampa Airport shuttle, the trains, the security systems over at Tampa Airport. In fact, the head of Tampa Airport maintenance is one of my former graduates, and he's brought his daughter over to enroll in the program. This particular field is extremely short in supply of people. Typically, I'll have 4 to 5 job offers for every graduate or every student in the program, not just every graduate.
In our STEM academies, we have students working on pneumatic pumps. We have them working with gears and mechanisms. If they want to progress into this type of program offered by PTEC, what are some of the skills that they need to come into this program with?
Well, first they need to be able to read well. Most of the textbooks in electronics and physics tend to fry out in about the grade 14 level or second year of college. Next, you need to be able to do adequate math up through trigonometry. Good skills in algebra 1 and 2, and then trig.
Christian Caesar sees IMM as a great career choice. Christian, why did you decide to become involved in the IMM program at PTEC?
Well, my dad first introduced it to me. It seemed like a really good program. It's really high in demand. There's a lot of job opportunities out there. Job security is great. I hear the benefits are good too. So I just thought it was a smart choice because a lot of kids are going to colleges these days, getting their degrees, but can't get jobs. So I just thought that this program would be effective and get me out there in a career.
What we've been trying to teach our students is that in any engineering task that you do, sometimes you feel success, sometimes you feel struggles with the concepts that you're working with. Have you come across any struggles that you've overcome in this program?
Oh yeah, of course. I came into the program not knowing really anything about electronics or IMM, and it's just you have to, like my instructor says, you get what you put into it. So I didn't know anything, but my instructor certainly helped me overcome the stuff I didn't understand.
Welding is another growing STEM career. Sean Galen tells me more about the skills needed to enter this program.
Right now they need a 9th grade reading, language, and math to enter our program. And as long as they know how to do the fundamental, hands-on, mechanically inclined, they can enter this program.
What are some of the activities that your students are working on currently?
Some of the activities, like the person behind me is doing a gas tungsten arc welding, known as TIG welding, where we go through the process of aluminum, carbon steel, and stainless steel. It kind of gets them geared up for the other processes and get them ready for pipe welding, where the money's at in this program. We follow the state curriculum. It's hands-on. We go through each process. We tell them step by step. We show a bead, then they repeat a bead, and then we tell them the theory of why we're doing what we're looking for in a welding process and welding bead to meet industry standards.
Melissa Taylor is one of the few females in the welding program.
Well, I have never been the type of person who enjoys sitting down for 8 hours a day, so I'm more active, and welding just really interests me from the get-go.
What are some of the skills that you need to become a successful welder?
Good hand-eye coordination, a steady hand, and just to like to tinker with toys.
You're a female in the welding field, which is rare, so how are you holding your own?
Well, I am just applying a lot of hard work and skills and letting that speak for itself.
Are there any struggles that you come across that you've overcome in the welding program that you think are important for potential students to know?
Absolutely. Welding is a skill, and it takes hard work and muscle memory and concentration, and yeah, definitely.
The automotive service industry has been revolutionized with STEM technology. For students that are considering the automotive department as a potential career path for them, what could they expect?
What they expect was we'll be in the this classroom. We'll be in the classroom for part of the day, and then we come out into the shop and we work on the vehicles and things for part of the day as well. They're here for 5 hours a day, so what we'll do is we break that into some classroom time. We do a little lecture, some video, and then as well as we come out into the cars, and then we do some of the hands-on on the cars. So what we talked about and what we kind of learn about, we also do on the cars as far as hands-on stuff.
What makes your program unique?
I think it's unique because it blends from classroom into real world, and you're working on the car. And we have a lot of different vehicles. You're working on the cars. You're getting some experience on the cars, some practice, as well as then when you get out into the workplace, some of the stuff starts to look familiar. If they enter into the workplace, they usually start off in kind of an entry-level person. The more certifications they get, if they do get the ASC certifications, then that helps them bump up their amount of pay per hour. So the more certifications you get, the more per hour you get.
Industry certifications are the key in these STEM careers. Brenda Frazier is a career counselor who helps direct students into these programs.
When we took a tour, we were talking about certifications. What are some of the certifications that students can acquire?
Okay, some of the certifications they can acquire, of course, are Microsoft Office certification in Word, Excel, PowerPoint. We also have certification in our machining program, our welders, cabinet making, culinary, IMM, electronics. So we have a broad spectrum of certifications.
This is a critical area for Pinellas County to offer some career readiness. How does this look compared to a typical classroom in Pinellas County?
Okay, one of the biggest differences is that here a student is hands-on. Their instructor is there to facilitate and help them in any way they want to. They need to have the skills that they have in the K through 12 environment, the math, the reading. You can't make it without it. However, you're not tied down to it. There's not someone then doing a lecture on you every day.
Leadership tells me what PTEC is looking for.
Our campus offers programs that will allow the student to get hands-on experience. Also, it gives an opportunity that they can go to work immediately and make high wages. For instance, we had a student recently graduate from the machining, started out making $25 an hour with excellent benefits. And the plus was the student did not have student loan debt to pay.
We look for anybody that has an interest in a career technology program and also a student that has a passion for what they're interested in. A lot of times, people think that we're just a school where non-traditional students, we have all types of students that have anywhere from an advanced college degree to students who are coming to us right from high school or with their high school diploma. So there's opportunity and a space for everyone as long as they have an interest and a passion in a career or technical trade.
When we come back, I'll tell you about an exciting event coming up for anyone interested in STEM. Science Rocks continues in a moment.